YouTube, what's up? Let's get it. So look, Gene Deal, y'all know Big Gene, you know what I'm saying? Used to be Puffy bodyguard or whatever, right? So now he was on Vlad, shout out to Vlad TV, and he say Biggie putting Who Shot You Out after Tupac got shot was a bad move. And I would agree with him on that. It was a bad move. But he say Puffy and the label now, they pushed for it because it was good business, but streetwise and from a street perspective, it made Pac look at things a certain way. It made Pac see things a certain way. I get shot. You say you the king of New York. You don't come see me in the hospital. No information given. You don't come see me in jail. Like, none of that. You don't do none of that. But you supposed to be the king of New York. You don't do none of that. And then you turn around and put out a song called Who Shot You? That's crazy. I wouldn't expect like from anybody. You know what I'm saying? If I was Tupac, I would have felt the same way. I would have felt how he felt. That's why when the whole East Coast, West Coast thing and the Biggie Pac thing was going on, I used to always look at this situation like, how come people can't see why Tupac is really mad? You can obviously see why he mad. Obviously, he got a reason. And like Gene said, Pac knew who really did it. Yeah, he really knew who did it. After he left the hospital and went to the jail, because in jail, they told him who it was. A lot of people forget that Tupac was from the East Coast. A lot from New York. A lot of people forgot that Tupac had family in New York that was in the streets. So when you locked up and people come and tell you the same thing, this was who shot you, this was who shot you, like, it's like, man, I would feel some type of way too. I would be mad too. But for Puffy now to push a record called Who Shot You after Pac got shot was crazy to me. Like, people used to make Pac seem like a menace. People used to make it seem like he was the baddest person in the world, when truth be told, he had a reason to be mad. He had a reason to feel the way he felt. That's why he came out with the Don't Trust Nobody. Because Big used to sleep on his couch. He used to get Big money. He used to put Big up on females. Like, a lot of people that Pac was loyal to, for whatever reason, they turned their back on Pac. Even if you look at his issue with him and Haitian Jack, which I'm going to get into in another video, but even if you look at the issue with him and Haitian Jack, that wasn't about nothing. And at the same time, the person that did the article could have been misquoted and, you know what I'm saying, all this and that. And I think one thing Haitian Jack ain't realizing is the fact that Pac probably wouldn't have started speaking on you or speaking about you until every time he got shot except for the last time, but all the early times, your name always came up. This ain't no social media back then, neither, none of that. Like, people really gonna have to talk in the streets, right? This the thing. It could be lies and rumors in the streets too. But if different people steady telling you a certain person, or, you know what I'm saying, like a certain person name keep coming up, yeah, you probably had something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm gonna do another video about that. But like with Gene though, like he said, Puffy and them knew that that was a record they should have not been pushing. The Who Shot You record. And they was pushing who shot you anyway. And they went and did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you know, Puffy done did some dirty things, man. But like, when you look at it as a whole, like, why Biggie couldn't go see him in the hospital, Puff has never answered none of these questions either, by the way. Why you want to let Big go to the hospital? Why you want to let him go see him in jail? Why wouldn't you let them talk? So hold on. My whole thing with Puffy is, my whole thing with the whole industry as a whole, period. Y'all knew how Pac was coming before he even left the jail, before he even got out. Because he had interviews with the Vibe magazine, he had interviews, The Sword, all that. He was interviewed up with all the top magazines, so in all the articles he was saying the same thing about how he felt and how he looked at them as a whole or whatever. So even before he got out and did hit him up and all that, y'all still didn't try to resolve the situation. Y'all still wouldn't let him and Biggie sit down. Y'all still wouldn't let him and Biggie talk to one another. So, you know, that was always a little suspicious to me. Like, and like I said, Puffy present himself as a super industry cat that's all about the industry, but y'all forget, Puffy, Diddy, them, they was in the streets too, which means Puffy had people around him that was in the streets. Junior Mafia, Lil C's and all them, they was from the streets too. So you had to know that people in the streets are like, look, man, when Pac get out, he said he gonna do this, he said he gonna do that, he mad in there. Think about it. If the people in jail is telling Pac what's going on outside on the streets, then you know it's people from the jail getting back messages to Big and them about what Pac on when he get out. Y'all still didn't try to sit these two brothers down and let them talk. Y'all still didn't try to sit these brothers down and let them have a conversation. Y'all still didn't to try to let them work this out amongst each other. Knowing what it was about to bring, knowing what it was about to cause. This crazy, and the reason why I say it's crazy to me is because so many people knew. And then when Pac get out and go on his rampage, Big, I don't know why he mad. I don't know why he upset. Puff, you know, well, it's bad boy. We ain't had nothing to do with the Puff. Y'all could have did all that. Why that man was down bad? You wait till he get out. Even though he said a million times before he even got out that that's what he was gonna be on if he ever made it out. Then he get out, he go on rampage. Y'all don't know what's going on. Now he look like the monster. Even though he the one that was shot, he was the one that was betrayed by his friends. Like, Biggie ain't gonna see him or nothing like. I never understood it, man. When I look back on it more and more, I used to ask myself these questions like, bro, like, all this time, like, bro, like, you wasn't that busy. You couldn't go talk to the man one-on-one. You couldn't go see the man one-on-one. Puffy had Suge number. But Suge was already in the industry from when he did the NWA, the Eazy-E thing, but fast forward to all that, like, Suge was already in the industry. He already done had different talks with Puffy, like, even before that. Y'all couldn't sit these two young brothers down and let them squash their differences. So, I don't want to look at it like it's Biggie's fault. You know, he made a mistake, but I know he ain't had nothing to do with Tupac getting shot. I don't want to look at Pac like it's his fault for going at them, even though he really knew who shot him. It's just the way he still felt betrayed by everybody. So I can't blame him for being mad at it. But you know who I do blame? The industry, the top people that could have just set both of them down and and squash the whole thing. Diddy, you could run a whole label, but you couldn't get Big to sit down with Pac. Suge, you spent all that money to bail him out of jail, but y'all couldn't sit them down and squash. That's crazy to me. which makes me feel and which makes me believe that a higher power, somebody in the industry, I can't say if it was more on Suge end, I can't say if it was more on Puffy end. You see what Suge at, we see what Puffy at. I don't know if it was a joint plan between the both of them. But somebody pushed for this stuff to happen. Somebody pushed for this stuff to be like this. There's no way in the world you got record execs, all these top white Jewish people, like all this. There's no way you got all these people and this stuff spiraled out of control and out of hand and went as far as it did without these two squashing it before both of them met their demise. That's crazy to me. So yeah, Gene was right. Maybe it was a good business move, but it definitely was a bad street move. And it definitely wasn't a good look for the situation. That's all I'm saying. But y'all get in the comment box, man. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It's your boy, Moon, I'm out.